What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus Live video. On the left side here, we have Yubel Fiendsmith going up against Memento Fiendsmith. We both have the new card. I guess we have the Lacrima finally back in our deck, not being on the ban list. And then we have a Memento card as well, being the Alkyrion in the deck. This is going to be at sneak peek. We both end up pulling one very nice. I think I ended up pulling one and he traded for one, which is quite nice. But before we dive in, over to like, comment, subscribe. This is a very die roll reliant format, and we do see them winning the die roll here. Normal summon out the copy of the Lotus. We hit that with a Veiler, and they summon out the copy of Squirmer. Now when they link away, they can reborn back out the reborn back out the Lotus and get the effect once again, which is not going to be the greatest for us, but if they don't have it, then they would have just been able to pass turn on this. They go for the Moon, which is going to be the access to the Fiendsmith combo. They're going to go up into the Requiem, which is going to then bring out either the Engraver or the Lacrima. So if they bring out the Lacrima, it's going to let them have another body on the field for a Desiree or the Sequence, depending on what they kind of want to go for. So we do see the Lacrima being summoned out. They're going to activate the effect, and here we decide to chain a Ghost Ogre on it. Not being the greatest, but just allowing it to hit the graveyard so they don't have a material. They have to put back the Engraver there. It kind of hurts their follow a bit and makes them not able to make Caesar, which is important for us. But Caesar kind of cooks Memento if they have any other board, like being able to go out for the Yubel stuff. We're not able to beat a Phantom and a Caesar, so we kind of want to stop them and make them waste more cards. So we see the Squirmer summon out that copy of the Samsara Lotus once again, and this is going to bring out now the Phantom. Phantom can then activate the effect. They still have 3 cards in the hand, and like they're still going very hard on their combo. We open up 2 low impact hand traps against this deck. Obviously, they're able to play through it. It's kind of like throwing a Veiler down on one of our Memento cards. We do see a Magnum resolving here, banishing the Engraver. So now that they can't activate the effect to bring it back out. We couldn't do it on the Lotus because of the fact that they didn't control any monsters. There might have been a world where we do chain that on the Ogre when we had activated it, but definitely a misplay on our part. We're going to be seeing them destroy, then summon out, and then we get to continue. It doesn't really play around if they had the Samsara Lotus in the hand or another copy of Spirit, which is important to note. But if they would have had the Spirit, they most likely would have made a copy of the Phantom right away on their first summon. But we're going to be seeing them go for the combo, and then we see a Nib in the hand as well. But we see Squirmer and the Yubel itself being into a Phantom. We're then going to link away for a Yama. Yama will then be able to trigger, searching us for the Shavara. Shavara can destroy the spirits. And at this point, like, we have no other hand traps. We have used 3 of them here, and they're going to be going up into a Rage. We see the Yama being summoned out as well. And it's going to let them set the traps. They're going to have the trap destroy the raid on the field, getting the Yama to bring back out. And then they have essentially a lower tier combo, but they do have the option here. Like, they have a bunch of cards. And we're going to be seeing another Phantom being made. And then I believe during the end phase, we will see the Samsara Lotus bringing itself back out. And then Yubel destroying itself because the Lotus can still trigger under the Phantom here. So we're going to be seeing that going to resolve. Something itself out and destroying it. So they have potentially 2 negates and the Rage and the Destruction. And we do search for a Horn Dragon here, off that Magnum being a dragon type. So if I do recall, what we did that is we didn't have any other Memento cards in the hand. So we had also a Bone Party, and Bone Party needs to destroy. We activate the Bone Party because it's all that we have. And they have an Ash Blossom, and then we just scoop to this. We actually have Engraver as well here, I guess. So maybe we could have led with that to see if it got hit with Ash Blossom. But we're going to go for the Lurie. Lurie is then going to be... we're going to go for Track. Track's going to start a Lurie and search for the Lurie there, but they ask what we know in hand. They just have the Horn Dragon. They go pop, and we just scoop it up there, realizing that we have lost the game. We have a Veiler in the hand as well, but it was not going to get us there, unfortunately. Yeah, the Ash sealed the deal. Even if you didn't have an Ash, it was very hard for us to beat through that. You know, the deck does work with 2-card combos for us, but like we want to see multiple cards in hand. We don't want to see all those hand traps. Like, we do have those 1-card combos, but they do lose to hand traps, while the 2 or 3 card combos just do not. So unfortunately there, we opened up a little bit too much hand traps and did not pay off for us, especially when they were able to make their own board. There might have been a world where we played those a little bit differently. I think the first Veiler was definitely the right choice in case they just had a pass on it. But I definitely think the Magnemite should have been chained earlier to get rid of that Lotus. They would have had nothing. They would have just been able to go for the Engraver line, which could get them a Desiree. Actually, it couldn't get them a Desiree at all either. So yeah, we definitely should have done the Lotus line there. But yeah, that was definitely... Hitting the Lotus would have been the correct play on the Fiendsmith card. But it is what it is. You know, you make mistakes and then you learn. You know, it is still kind of fresh. You know, I'm not even sure Ogreing the Lacrimo is definitely a good... I just wanted to make sure that I knew I couldn't play through a Caesar, so we had to kind of go through that way, unfortunately. But diving onto game 2, Memento is going to be going first. And like we said earlier, like it's going to be a die roll format for us, for at least these two matchups. You know, Yubel being one of the best decks, as well as Memento being one of the best decks as well. Both very powerful Fiendsmith engines. That their Fiendsmith engine essentially get them into the full combo of their own deck, and then having other cards in the hand as well, and being able to play multiple hand traps. Like I think we're on 15 hand traps right now. So that's pretty crazy, being able to play that alongside the Fiendsmith cards and your own engine. But if you guys want to see either deck profiles, let me know in the comment section down below. You know, we are on the road to 10K here, and we would like to subscribe to the channel to support us. We'd take that quite a bit. We are going to be diving on into Game 2 with a summon out of Yugiohtcg. And we see a Veiler going to be activated on the summon. You know, you definitely want to hit that because of the fact that you can't just chain Bone Party to it. Summon out another one here. And so we're talking about that, and we do summon out, and you can't is a different name. I don't know why I do that. But we're going to be going for the Anguich here. We were talking about it, which is why I said, like, oh, I just get punished by a Bone Party anyway, summon out another one. But I said, like, you can't. It has to be a different name, which is important to note. And then we search for the Sleepy. Sleepy is going to activate the effect. It's going to be fusing. Fusing away to the copy of Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon is going to activate the effect, destroying itself to summon out 2. Or search for 2. I should not say summon out 2. It then activates to summon out another card from the graveyard to level 6 or lower. And we see a Horn Dragon as well as a Memento combined creation. And on resolution, we're going to go DD Crow on the Yugiohtcg because that was going to be the target we do summon out off of the Twin Dragon. Here we're going to have summon out the copy of Sleepy instead. And then we're going to go Engraver. Engraver is going to let us search for Track, and then Track gets us. So like, there is different lines that we can do. And like you guys will see, this is going to definitely hurt us. And they think about if they want to DD Crow the Lurie, which kind of makes me know they have another hand trap in their hand here. They're thinking on this. But they're going to let that resolve summon itself out. I definitely think that probably would have been a better option to hit the Lurie there. But not much I can do. I think that definitely was a misplay. If they would have hit the Lurie, we would have had to just pass. There's no like hard punishment for not hitting the Lurie. We haven't normal summoned, so maybe they were worried about a normal summon. But we go Requiem effect. And then we're going to go activate the Engraver effect to summon itself back out by putting back the Lurie. And they are thinking on that there. We're going to summon out the Engraver. And we could go for a Caesar, but they have 3 cards left in the hand, and Caesar's not going to get us anywhere. So we try to go for the Sequence, which is going to allow us to go for Aerial Eater. But we are thinking, like, okay, they had a card that they wanted to hit on the Lurie. If they did have a DD Crow, they should have used it there 100%. Therefore, we kind of want to believe they just don't have a DD Crow and they're bluffing it. So we go for the Sequence, and we're going to put back the Requiem alongside the Engraver to let us go up into the Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater will activate its effects ascending, and it should be in the middle column here. I do believe that we are going to move that. You have to put it in the middle column there. yeah, we are talking, like this is going to be like in the Top Cut match, and we are practicing for a regionals and a YCS. So you want the best testing, and you want to make sure that you're doing it properly. And so here we summon out the, yeah, we don't summon a Horn Dragon, we link away for a Cross Sheep. So this is kind of the importance of like focusing on your match and not just talking. Like you are talking about it, but he has DD Crow, the Goblin here. And he goes on this think. And you definitely just DD Crow the Goblin. And then like now we just lose access to that as well. And we still have the third card in the graveyard because we did link away the Cross Sheep. And that's going to allow us to bring out. And we bring out the Witch here for absolutely zero reason. It should have been the Sleepy because then Sleepy, when it just gets destroyed, it gets to dump one. So that's kind of important to note. We should have done that. We should have linked away then the Cross Sheep and the Horn Dragon into the SP itself. But we don't do that. So a little bit of a misplay on our part once again. We go up into that SP. And we just set one and pass turn. We have an Impermanent Ash in the hand. And they have 3 cards with their top deck. So we are in a pretty good position here as well with an SP on the field. But it's just unfortunately not what we want to. They have the hard opening, one of the gates. That we are going to Ash that there. And they notice on the Samsardi Lotus, we have an Imperm for the Samsardi Lotus. And they now only have 1 card left in the hand here. So not looking too hot for Yubel. Having 2 of their 3 cards interacted with and not being able to have much. We don't play the Anima, or I guess we don't play Anima or Linkuriboh, or not Linkuriboh, but the Almirage. So we do just activate the effect, tribute itself off anyways, and then we go Gates effect, discarding the Spirit. So having really the only card left that we can really interact with, and having the Spirit being able to bring itself back out, we do chain the SP to that, banishing the Spirit and the Aerial Eater. This is going to make it so they have to only have 1 other card, but like they're going to get Nightmare Pain, but they don't have anything to destroy off Nightmare Pain, so they kind of are just stopped doing that there. They're going to activate the Nightmare Pain, and they're going to be resolving, and we're going to see SP resolving now, putting back the Aerial Eater alongside the Spirit, and like now we have to find a way to get rid of the Nightmare Pain or the Spirit here, which is very easy for us to do, because we can just go up into a Caesar at this point. And so we go up into that Caesar, like I mentioned, and as long as we have a normal summon to go for this, we kind of get to play through it. We're going to normal summon the Attachment Shigu, activate the effect, and this is going to allow us to full combo, being able to pop the Nightmare Pain alongside the Spirit. We are then going to see Gaddock being dumped with the Anguish. Gaddock will then be able to bring itself back out and add back the Sleepy. Sleepy is then going to activate the effect of Fuse. We're going to fuse all 3 into the Big Creation King. We had the big guy in the hand, which is what we're going to be using. We then dump the Fusion itself and an Acheron, the new card, from the deck. Then we banish to search for the field spell, and then we're going to be popping the big guy, which is going to be able to trigger out the Alcurion. It summon itself out, living us in another body, and you can just see how the game is going to kind of go from there. So we actually should have gone the fusion effect on the field, popping itself plus Nightmare Pain there. We should have done the Memento Fusion, because that wouldn't have gotten us as far. So we went fusion, target, blow those up. Alcurion will then activate the effect, as well as the Mento Fusion or Mento Field Spell, bring out the Anguish alongside the Alcurion. Then we could have the fusion effect in the graveyard to actually pop the Alcurion to then get a search, and then we'll be able to add the fusion as well back to the hand, because as any card, so we have Bone Party and fusion in the hand there, which both would have been nice. Simply kind of play through those kind of the combo there, but we do see them scoop it up, knowing the game has been lost, and now we're going to be in the final game 3. So this is like the deciding match of the game, obviously, but due to the fact that like it is just whoever wins the die roll, he has the heavy advantage. Now, if he bricks, we'll have the advantage, or if we open more hand traps, and still have full combo, we'll have the advantage. But like it all depends on that, because like both our decks are super consistent, as well as very powerful, and like our going first boards are going to be significantly stronger than like the regular boards, and like they both do play through hand traps, so it's almost like not even worth playing not even playing hand traps and just going full gas, especially for Yubel being able to have so many different like areas. Now we have a lot of cards let us play through hand traps or through interruptions, but our power cards aren't all there. Like we have Tachino, we have Anguish, and a lot of these cards do the exact same thing. If they can prevent destruction on the side of Yubel, it's going to prevent our card effects. Now we do have the Engraver now, which is going to be another kind of combo in Memento that we can kind of angle through. So we do have more power cards that we did before, but like it is unfortunate that like we have to play those hand traps rather than those board breaker cards because they will just be able to negate it with the Deseret and stuff like that. So we're going to be seeing Yubel going first in the game 3, and they're going to be activating the second one of Gates, being able to search, and that's going to be kind of crazy. We see the Spirit, or yeah, the Beckoning Beast. Beckoning Beast is going to be normal summon, activating the effect, and we let that resolve, and they go no effect here. Okay. So you go normal, so we don't have anything on it. Then they normal summon the Samsara Lotus. We imperm them, which is going to be kind of bad, to be honest. We probably should have just ashed if we had the ash in the hand. They link away for the Yama, and then we still have the Gates to be able to bring back out that copy of the Samsara Lotus. We have a track here, and we are going to be thinking on this, which means we have ash in the hand. I mean, I guess we can ash the track, which can allow them to not have access to Fiendsmith, but they have everything they want to have access to Fiendsmith. So we do ash the track, and then they're going to go Gates, discarding the Squirmer once again. Having the Squirmer in the hand is going to be huge. We do hit them with the Veiler on the Samsara Lotus once again, making them have to link away into a Moon, and that's going to let them go up into the Arkham. And I have a Nib in hand, so I kind of wanted to like make them kind of play through all their stuff. I was hoping that they wouldn't go for like a Caesar or a Desiree first, and that they'd summon out the Lotus once again, or just like making them essentially end on like a Phantom Pass with Nightmare Pain. But we do see the Lacrima. Lacrima is going to activate the effects in the Engraver, and then we're going to attach summon out. Then we're going to go up into another Princess, and then we can put back to summon. And then we do nib on this, before they can make the Caesar, but they can just go up into this Squirmer now, being able to banish for the Lotus. So like still having the combo lines, because the Graveyard is your second hand in this deck. And they're going to finally get the Lotus effect for the third time, bringing it back out. We see now the Nightmare Pain going to be set off of the Spirit. And they still have 2 cards left in hand, one of them being the Shavara there. So like, why don't you just, they just said like at that point, like, why didn't you just ash the copy of Lotus? Which I guess looking back, I probably should have. I should have ashed it and then held the Veiler for like a sequence or whatever. But at the time, I just didn't really think I played Imperm first because I know they play Talent in their deck. So I didn't want to walk into that. They know we have a bunch of hand traps in our deck. So, if they are playing Thrust on the side, it's definitely going to be put in. Or if they're playing it in the main. I don't know their exact build because it is just changing. Obviously, we just got a new set dropped. But we are going to be seeing a Destruction, summon out, summon out once again. Then we're going to see the Squirmer summon out for the second time. And we then link up. Or we're going to destroy the summon. Okay. Just getting the extra material in the graveyard. Going for the second Yama here. And then we're going to be destroying the Spirit with the Shavara, summoning out the Yubel from the graveyard. Then we're going to link up into a Rage. Rage, as well as Shavara, is going to be able to set the trap. Setting the Escape here. And so now we have Rage plus Escape, which is going to be able to add back the Yama as well. We put back the Spirit alongside the Terror Incarnate for a Phantom. And then we're going to be able to summon out the Samsara Lotus for the 4th time here during the end phase with that, with its own effect here. So we see some Samsara Lotus being brought back out. And then the Yubel will trigger destroying itself, or tributing itself, so that we, for its maintenance cost. And so we emit the feed here because we draw into another Nibiru, and we have the fusion on, a brick in the hand. So that's what I mean, once again, not opening good enough. We see an Ogre, then an Ash, another Nib, and then we see a Bone Party and a Tachino. So we were way too deep into the deck to kind of get that. And then this is where we're mentioning, you can just Ash to Samsara Lotus and can't activate the effect. You would have saved yourself 2 hand traps there. So looking back, I guess when you do open up multiple hand traps, just Ash the Samsara Lotus and maybe hit the rest of the cards with the Veilers. But unfortunately for us, we just couldn't get it there. And they did have the talent after all in their deck. So the game plan idea was great. Unfortunately, I just didn't have it, so we could have played it a little bit better. But regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content like this, and stay safe. Peace.